Hello mateys, how's it going? Long time no see. It has been 3 weeks and 3 days since I uploaded my last video, which if you've been following along, you would know is a breach of my 1 video a week commitment, which is what I've been talking about. I've been talking about goals and how to achieve them and how you should only have 3 goals a week in order to be successful in what you're doing. And yet here I am, have not been here for 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. And that's what this video is about. Why I haven't been hitting all my goals. Why have I not been producing what I said I was going to produce? And so first up, I will give you an update on how everything's going. I have been waking up every morning at actually 5 o'clock now. So I've been waking up at 6 previous to that, and then getting back to Australia, we realized that actually 6 wasn't going to work anymore with the new commitments that we had. So in order to get things done, we would have to wake up at 5. And strangely enough, I think because we overcame the mental barrier of waking up at 6, we were actually able to then change that to 5 o'clock and stick with it. So we've been waking up at 5 for probably a week now, and it's been fine, and it's been fun, and it's been good. But my other goals, who remembers what they are? Exercising 5 times a week, doing a YouTube video once a week. I have not been meeting consistently, and I want to talk about the reasons for that in the hopes that my transparency will encourage you with your goals as well. So basically, as some of you know, Raf and I left Australia in June 2022 and had a world trip, which was awesome. And then for the last stint of the trip, it was going to be 10 days in New Zealand and then back to Australia on February the 3rd. So while I was in Colombia, I was actually being okay, being quite consistent with posting videos, posting stories, at least on Instagram, exercising. There was a gym downstairs, so it was quite simple to get that done. We were at my father-in-law's house, so we were on holidays but spending more so time with family versus running around up and down everywhere. And then we go to New Zealand and in New Zealand, for the 10 days that we were there, we did wake up at 6 a.m. and we exercised, I'm going to say probably around 5 times a week, because we had hikes, really long hikes, and we had different things to do. Beautiful scenery. We walked around a lot. We didn't do much or any strength training or any push-ups or anything like that, but we did do a lot of walking and movement in general. And since then, we came to Australia. And I think what happened in New Zealand was we were so busy traveling, and the priority was really to see New Zealand, not to be making YouTube videos. And that's not an excuse, because I do want to take responsibility for not doing what I said I would do. Ultimately, I could have foreseen that, and I could have planned ahead. I could have had a video prepared in advance. I could have had 2 videos prepared in advance for when I was traveling and didn't have the time or inclination to take the time out to actually make a video while I was traveling. So the lesson for me is looking ahead, and maybe that's something that we can all glean from. Looking ahead and knowing what's actually coming ahead for us and how we can adapt and change our approach and the things that we do in order to make sure that our goals, which really, when you say I've got a goal, what that really means is I have a priority, so that our priorities don't get left behind. Raf and I this year are doing a Bible in a year reading. And if you've attempted one of those before, which I have attempted a few times, some I've been successful at, others no. You know that often you start off quite well and then you start to fall behind, and you miss a day, you miss 2 days, then all of a sudden it's 5, 6, 10, and you're just behind and behind. And even though you catch up or you get back on track, you're still 10 days behind, a month behind, or whatever. And because I've done that, I knew that it was very likely that we would fall behind when we did this reading plan together. So what I said to Raf on a couple of mornings that we had an easier routine in the morning, I said, Raf, let's do an extra day. And he would say to me, okay, let's do an extra day. And so we did that 2 or 3 times, and we were 3 days ahead in our Bible reading plan. And of course, when we traveled to New Zealand, we did keep up the Bible reading plan, but some days we just had to leave the house too early and did not get it done. And we fell behind, but because we had 3 days in advance or 2 days in advance, we only fell 1 day behind, because I had anticipated the fact that not every day is an ideal day. And you can't always get things done in an ideal way. And so instead of just throwing my hands up and just being like, oh, it's impossible to get things done, or it's impossible to fulfill a goal or a desire or to keep up with this Bible reading plan, I anticipated the barrier because I had already been through it before. I anticipated the obstacle because I had already been confronted with that obstacle before and made adjustments. And I think in life, that's kind of what it is. You know, we need to be able to foresee things and make adjustments. It's not like this 10-day trip to New Zealand was a surprise to me. I mean, I've had this trip planned for a while, and I should have thought about the fact that I'm probably going to be super busy. I'm probably not going to have all this time, and I should have planned accordingly, and I should have made things happen so that I could continue with my goals as much as possible. So I actually want to talk about that a little bit, knowing what's coming ahead and then making adjustments so that whenever that thing comes, it doesn't derail you or transitions are easier. You guys know, because I talked about it in my first video, a lot of what I'm doing right now is because of the things that I want to be when I become a mother. And I remember that for years, actually, before I got married, when I was single, I would pick up books about relationships, I would read about marriage, and I would just in general listen to sermons about marriage. And I feel like I was preparing for something that I hoped would come. And that served me. That served me really well. And it's a similar concept with motherhood. I know 99%, I mean, I don't know 100% because no one knows the future, that I'm going to have kids sometime, someday, probably in the near future. And so instead of just allowing that to rock my world like a tornado and bring chaos to everything, I know that I can't prepare for everything. I know that no matter what I do, a little baby is going to turn my world upside down. I understand that. But I also think that there are things that I can do today to prepare me for that stage of life, so that the transition is a little bit smoother. I know that there are habits that I can implement today, which is going to make parenting a little bit easier. It's going to make parenting a little bit smoother. I know there are books that I can read about today, not when I'm there, not when I'm in the thick of it, but right now, in order to ease that transition. So what are things that are coming up ahead in your life, in my life? What is it that I can see when I think about the things that I want or are going to achieve in my life, or the different holidays or trips or interruptions? What are the interruptions that you already know about? Yeah, life takes us by surprise sometimes. Sure, it does. But there are some things that we know about in advance and that we can actually factor in when it comes to our planning, when it comes to our goals. My mistake was not doing that. I didn't factor that in terms of exercise as well, getting back to Australia, getting back into the rhythms of work and study for me, and all the different things that come with that, moving. We did exercise a couple of times, but we have not done the 5 times of exercise. But it's also troubleshooting. Like, I knew this was going to happen, so why didn't I troubleshoot and think about solutions to the problem before it actually came up? And that's my challenge to you, mostly to us, really. I say to you, but I mean to me, most of all to me, is anticipate things in life that are going to happen. Know the things. Look at your calendar. Think about the things that you know are around the corner for you, or in the near future for you, or in the medium term even for you. Know what's happening in the next couple of weeks and adjust. Don't just know and just let those circumstances come, and then life is crazy and then you feel bad because you didn't get things done. It's okay. Like, there's grace for this, you know. I'm not about to feel terrible or punish myself, or, you know what, you didn't do what you said you were going to do. That's part of it. That's life. But what I can do is learn. I can learn from this to be better next time. This may not have been the most exciting video in the world, but I'm grateful that you're here with me. I hope it was helpful for you, that you learned anything. And put down in the comments below, what are your struggles? What are the things that you anticipate that can actually block you, become an obstacle for where you want to go in life, and how can you overcome them? I want to hear your strategies, your battle strategies, because we all need those. Have the best day, and I'll see you in a week's time. Bye.